How would your organisation respond to an event like a tropical storm like Katrina or Cyclone Larry? How would you respond to having your production wiped out, having your infrastructure damaged, having your employees or the communities in which your organisation is based decimated? While not all extreme weather events impact on organisations, certainly the risks associated with climate change increase the vulnerability of organisations to these types of events. How is your organisation going to respond to such events?
At Rockcoat we manufacture architectural coatings for buildings. So that means cement renders and acrylic-based texture coatings for the exterior. We then moved on to manufacturing energy-efficient building systems, cladding systems for buildings. And at that point we realised that when you make a building more energy efficient, you tend to close the building envelope up much more tightly, producing a poisonous cocktail of inside the building that would mainly come from the paints and coatings used to finish the inside of the building. In the evolution of our products, we became more and more environmentally friendly until we got to the point with our latest range of paints and coatings they're actually based on clay, and they contain no poisonous chemicals. You can put the clay on your face as a face pack. What's left over from the paint or the clay, you can tip it onto your garden. It was interesting when our marketing manager asked us, well, what sort of R&D have you done on these products? And I thought back and I thought, well, how about 5,000 years? These buildings have been there for 5,000 years, and the coatings in many cases are still as good as the day they did them. At Rockcoat we questioned the fundamental ideas that we use to run our business. We realised we needed a new way of looking at things. Actually, I think it was Einstein who said you can't solve the problems created with one set of ideas using those same ideas. Or to put that another way, the old saying is that the ultimate sign of madness is to continue doing the same things and expect different results.
During the mid-90s, my wife and I, we were property investors. We used to do a lot of small lot subdivisions and renovations of old Queenslanders. We started introducing the concept of sustainability. We didn't know it was called that at that time, but things like rainwater tanks and larger windows for cross ventilation, light-coloured walls inside so that we didn't have to turn the lights on during the day. We found that there was a market for that. That evolved into kit homes that we now send off around the country. They come as a flat pack. They produce all their own electricity, treat their own sewage, harvest their own rainwater. They use non-toxic materials and timber. That's all plantation. They are cost effective. They're about 10% more expensive than a conventional home, but they're able to produce all their own power and all the other things that a truly sustainable home should be able to do. Three really interesting products that we use. First one is a product called Mega Anchor. Now Mega Anchor is invented by three farmers down in Victoria. It's a footing system that uses no concrete. Now it goes into the ground in a tripod formation. Everyone knows that a tripod has a really wide base, which makes the footings really, really stable. And the beauty of it is that there's no concrete used. Now, concrete, for every tonne of concrete that's used, that's normal concrete, a tonne of CO2 goes into the atmosphere. This system eliminates concrete altogether. It's also much more cost effective in certain areas. The second product is Apricus solar hot water heaters. Now they're an evacuated tube solar hot water heater, which is a little bit different to flat plate systems in that they are tubes. Now that means that they can track the sun during the day. It makes them about 40% more efficient than normal flat plate systems. The third product is a roof ventilation system. Now we used to use whirlybirds like most people in Australia. Some of our R&D over the last year has shown that they don't work as efficiently as what some of the manufacturers say they do. So we went looking for an alternative. We came up with a roof ventilation system that puts two vents, one on either side of the ridge. Air coming in one direction, passes out the other side, but in doing so it creates a vacuum or a Venturi effect inside the roof cavity, and it sucks the air out of the roof cavity and cools the house. Look, that's three of the more unique products that we've got, but there's a whole range of sustainable housing products, both used in our houses and elsewhere, that meet that triple bottom line criteria of being good for the environment, being good for people, but being good for our financial bottom line as well.
The companies that are working at the forefront in business sustainability understand that change is a human process. That as Gandhi said, you want change to happen, you have to be the change you want to be. You also have to measure it. Change is not an accidental process. For sustainable companies, change is a process that's led from the top, and it involves all parts of an organisation, irrespective of what the people do. There is a shared understanding of what needs to be done and what it's all about. It starts with a compelling vision and involves good communication and all parts of the organisation understanding what it is that they contribute. This is change leadership. It starts with a change agent, a person appointed or a person whose goal, preferably someone at a board level, or chief executive or senior executive level at least, but always with the strong and absolute support of the chief executive in driving the process. This can't happen accidentally. The issues are too complex. Sustainability is a new way of thinking, and indeed for that to happen and to be translated into operations within an organisation requires a whole pile of cooperation and championship. It's mostly about people. The funny thing about all of this is that technology won't save the future. It'll be people understanding what it is that they can do to make a difference that will be the most compelling part. Helping people understand the role they can play, reinforcing the fact that they can be part of making a difference, that they're important, and that together we can all make this thing work.
Leadership on sustainability is a really important driver for sustainability approaches in organisations. We find that leaders who are genuine about sustainability have an authenticity about their approach. They're values-based. They see no trade-off between their values and their profitability and sustainability outcomes. The types of organisations I'm talking about are Sala Holmes, Scott Elsom, and Bob Cameron from Rockcoat. Both these organisations have taken an adopted approach which is very values-laden. They are looking for innovative approaches to solving complex sustainability problems, and they see that there is absolutely no compromise between being able to deliver on sustainability outcomes and the bottom line. These organisations don't actually struggle with this, and the reason for this is that their leadership permeates through the organisation. Their leadership on sustainability actually generates quite significant reputational benefits for these organisations. In the movie, The Day After Tomorrow, climate change was depicted as a series of catastrophic events that took place over a short period of time. This is not how climate change will unfold for organisations and for our communities. However, we have time to be able to create positive and valuable business opportunities which address both climate issues and broader sustainability outcomes. And I'm optimistic that we can create sustainable organisations that lead us down this path.